Hello, welcome to the channel. Come on in, come on in. I decided to come in the studio and let's see if there we go, that looks a little better. I was sitting here and I was I was doing some things in the studio, change. And I realized that a lot of things that I was talking about, thinking about, and writing down for my own self in 2025 resolved a lot of, how can I say, issues or some things that in 2022, 2023, and 2024 was a little bit of unrest. So in 2025, what's that word? My word of the year is change. So I decided to pop on here and share how I'm able to navigate, pivot, move, with all of the things that's going on in my world, in my life. And I realized I was brushing my teeth this morning and wisdom, like, it's like, Karen, you're wise because you think when you get older, you're like, if you haven't done a lot of things, you think about the things you haven't done. You don't even give yourself credit for things you have done. You just think about, here you are, life after 50. I haven't done this. I haven't done that. I'm too old to do this. I'm too old to do that. And then it just popped up there while I was brushing my teeth. And it's like, but you're wiser now and you can do things better now than you would have did then. I did some foolish stuff in my 20s. Uh, did some crazy stuff in my 20s. It was just things that some of I'm not proud of, and some of it made me who I am today. And I will not regret anything that made you smile. And that is one thing I'm going to stick with. So as I was in the studio changing some things around, printing out stuff, because y'all know tax season is coming up. I'm one of them people like to go and get it out of the way. So if Uncle Sam, if I owe him some money, I want to go and get it out of the way and be done with it so I can move on in 2025 with new things of how I can do it better. So maybe next year I either don't owe him as much or I don't owe him at all, right? One of the things I want to talk about really, I was trying to figure out how to get here's it. Okay, let's see. Let's change. But to the meat of what I want to talk about today. Let's see. It's still starting to stop it. Oh my goodness. That's so sucky. Let's see. Is there anything else? Look, let's make sure everything is turned off. This is what I have to do when I'm around here. And I'm here by myself, so nobody else is on the internet. But I hate that. Uh, let's see. Better. Okay, great. Now let me put do not disturb on so that won't pop out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a little tidbit about what came to my mind while I was sitting up here thinking about life after 50 as an empty nester. I'm an empty nester. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a counselor in my entrepreneur journey. I'm a breeder of Rottweiler dogs. All these things are things that I realized that I started doing after I became an empty nester. And life after 50 and all of that kind of happened at the same time, right? I had to rediscover. And let me back up. So in my journey, I've lost two children. This is where it really, really got hot and heavy, okay? In that, I had to rediscover, renew, and reclaim who I was. Like, those were the questions I asked myself. It was like, how am I going to get my joy back, right? And when I did that, the answers started not really, I didn't answer the question with talking to myself. I answered the question by doing things. COVID happened. We got closed inside. Everybody had to be home. Everybody was on the same level. COVID didn't care what your bank account said. COVID didn't care what your zip code was. Everybody was on the same playing field. Some people came out of COVID on a higher level. Some people quit their job. Some people rediscovered who they were. Some people opened up that gift that God gave them, right? Because a gift has no value until you open it up. God gifted all of us with some form of something. We all got something. And until you really open that box, so open you up and figure out, and you look on the inside and you got some pretty, these happen to be pretty paints. But once you open up, and I realized life after 50, that's what it did for me. That's what I realized. So when I looked at things and I looked at the studio as I was moving stuff around, like on this side over here, let's see, I can probably move it around. I got all of the table. Let's take a little tour. This might help the internet, might not sure. Let me know. But over there, just all that. I wanted this to be pretty much, if I haven't used it in 2024, I want it to move. I want it to move it. I want it to put it in trash. Let's put it that way. Another thing that we're changing. We're changing. We're not keeping up with clutter. As a creator, an artist, I've collected some things. So over here, I had to go into some things and really dive into, Karen, do you need it? And so we have a pile for no, we don't need it on the table. We have a pile for trash. And I'm just not going to keep collecting all these things. I've changed my board. We're ready for 2025. This is going to be Happy Mail and all the things for 2025. My granddaughter's picture, of course, is up there. And we cleaned off the table, the desk a lot, and it's not cluttered. I don't want 2025 to be filled with a lot of stuff. Okay, all of my carts, they are, what do you call it, they're specific to what it is. Like this is watercolor paper. This is acrylic. So all of that's over there. Then I have my, everything up under there is related to what I will do on the thing here on my easel. And right now we happen to have a project that's going on over there. It's not done, but because I still feel that I need to do some more. Even over here on the desk, I cleared some things up over here. Like it's full. You can, it's got open space. So 2025 is filled with change. And when I talk about life after 50, when I talk about being an empty nester, right? That's one of the things that I realized. Life after 50, you don't have to have a whole lot of clutter in your house because why? You don't have children. Grandchildren come through. My grandchildren come through, but they're not here to stay. They come through. So you can adapt to them for whatever time they're going to be in your house. But life after 50, as an empty nester, it can be a great time. It can be a great transition. It can be a great opportunity. Like get to know you before you had kids. Ask yourself, what was that? Like what was that like before you had kids? For me personally, I've been a mother since I was 14. So I'm having to spend a lot of time, and that's where my boundaries, if you check out my other YouTube, I'm talking about boundaries for 2025. I'm having to learn who Karen is because she's been a mother for so long. Like I was a mother before I even knew what a mother was supposed to be. I was supposed to be mothered, and then I'm mothering. That was hard in itself. So moved forward, got married, all the things. So now, life after 50, I want to know, like, what does that look like? So I'm having to be selfish over here. I'm having to be selfish to ask Karen, do you like pizza? That was my thing coming into 2022. Was like, I don't want grandkids here for the summer because I'm trying to decide if I even like pizza. Because grandkids, all they want is pizza, spaghetti, and macaroni and cheese. These are the new kids, not the old kids. The older kids, they tend to kind of, not my grandkids, but just older generations. Now they want to go, they want, what do you call it? Um, Delivered, food delivered. They phone it up. Like I didn't have that when I went to my grandma's house. So, number one, I wanted you to rediscover your passion and interest. Think about what the 15, 16, 17-year-old you wanted other than getting out of your parents' house. And I'm talking to people that you're over 50. Like if you happen to be scrolling through and you happen to be on my page right now and you're just like, I don't understand, I don't get it. It's not for you. It's like life over 50. If you're not over 50, this ain't even for you. Just keep scrolling, subscribe, and come back when I'm going to be outside with the dogs. Or better yet, stay, take some notes, because one day, as my grandma said, keep living. You're going to be over 50. And I think it's good when we have people in our lives that want to share the journey. And I'm here to share. Life over 50 is great. It's not a problem. It's not sad. It's not, oh my God. It's like you don't consider it old anymore. Because I know in my 1920s, it was just like, oh my God, 50, that's going to be old. Thought my grandmas were old. But now that I'm over 50, I don't consider it old. I consider myself wiser. I make better decisions. I'm not rash to just rush and do things. And I spend a lot of time taking care of my personal health. I spend a lot of time asking myself, Karen, what do you want? I focus more on self care. That's number two. Number one is rediscover your passion. Ask the 15, 16, 17-year-old, what do you want? Number two is focus on self care. Who does not want a nice massage? Who does not want to take a trip that is centered around just you? And in your self care, I want you to focus on your physical health. I want you to focus on your eating habits. Like right now in the world, if you can put it in a microwave and cook it, I would second, maybe no, don't do that every single day. Because if it has something, I always say, if it can sit on the counter and it can stay there for more than 2 weeks on the counter, nothing happens to it, what do you think that's doing to your body? Kind of don't do that, maybe. I don't know, but it's left up to individual people. I know me, life over 50, we can't eat the things we used to eat in our 20s and our 30s. Our body just be like, what the hell did you just put in me? And then we have these reactions. So I want you to focus on self-care, physical health, mental health, right? As children leave the nest, you'll start feeling loneliness. You'll start feeling a loss. And I remember my first daughter went to college, and I cried. I thought it was the worst thing because when she went to college, she was also taking my granddaughter, my first granddaughter, and so it was a little sad. I was sad, and I didn't realize that it was going to be that rough. Because why? Because I had six other children, so I'd be like, okay, one down, six to go. Mm-mm. She was like a mini mother. She was very helpful. She did a lot of arts and crafts with the kids. She just was the calm. She could when the kids don't go to the mom or dad, they go to their sibling, their older sister, which was, that was a good thing. But it was one of those things that when she left, I was, kind of sad. So it left me with a place of loneliness for a minute because she was also my first child. So we had a connection. So it was one of those things where I had to practice mindfulness and meditation. Now, that was hard to do because remember I said I had six other children in the home. So it still wasn't a lot of place. So I didn't get to do wind down Wednesdays like today these moms are doing. And we didn't have a whole lot of play dates. The kids had football, cheer. They had a lot of things. So I didn't really get to do that. But let's fast forward. We got all the kids are gone. And we moved here in 2022 on the ranch. Oh, wow. We'll be here 3 years next month. So my nest really got empty in 2021. My youngest was gone. So then I could say life as an empty nester, but I just still really didn't grab hold to it, right? Because kids tend to come back home, they leave and they come back home, they go to college, it didn't work or whatever, and they come back home. But in 2021, my house was literally empty. I have not had a child from 2021 to now we're in 2025. And now we have boundaries up. Children are not coming back home. Not saying that I won't help children if they need to come back, hang out, whatever. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is rediscover who you are for number one, life after 50, and as an empty nester. You tend to go through some things and let your body go through them. Like I'm a mother who have 7 children. 2 of those children have already passed. So I'm grieving those 2 children. However, I realized I was grieving being a mother, like somebody in the house to get up and cook for, and all of those things. Now, granted, some of those kids wish they could come back home and don't have to worry about paying bills and things like that. Kids grow up, they get wiser, and they realize, oh God, life at home wasn't that bad, right? It wasn't. But for you, now you need to take care of you. You've taken care of those children. Now it's time for you to travel, explore, change your room into whatever your joy is. Mine happened to be the studio. I changed a room in Colorado, but not here. I bought this house, and this has been my studio from day one. But there's rooms in the house. They are guest rooms. So if a child has to come home, They're going to have an expiration date. They can't just come home and flop just because they don't want to. We raise those children to be self sufficient, right? So don't let them ruin your plans now. Maintain a healthy lifestyle, maintain your lifestyle so that you can travel, you can explore whatever if you want. You and your husband want to run around the house naked, do what you want to do. That's all I'm saying. Rekindle relationships. Sometimes you had friends back in the day that didn't have kids. Y'all really didn't have nothing in common. So you kind of pulled apart. Kind of go back and rekindle those relationships, right? Check this out. Rekindle the relationship with your spouse. Because as a mother, I can speak for myself, as a mother, we get into the kids. It's all about the children. It's all about the children. And you tend to disconnect from your spouse, right? For me, I've been married for going on 16 years. We've been together for 18 years. Now, we are a combined household, so our children kind of, we kind of had to come, we're kind of having to come back together because more so the military, because he was in the military. But the kids, I just had to focus more on what he and I were going to do together. But some people who are married 30, 40 years, and now they're empty nester and the kids are gone and they're looking at each other like, who are you? Because the mom has her life, but now it's her life without the children. And now she's over 50 and now she's probably trying to figure out, who am I? Right? There was a movie that I can't think of her name, but I can't remember. I can see her face. She did Otherhood. It's called Otherhood. And it's not parenthood. They call themselves the otherhood. And in the movie, she tells her son, I know who I am as your mother, but now I need to figure out who I am without being your mother. I'll always be your mother, but I need to figure out who I am outside of being a mother. So you're a wife, you're a friend, or, and this is for males as well, your husband, the opposite thing. But mostly women usually kind of get sad and we grieve the fact that we're empty nester. And some don't. Some just jump on out there and start traveling, start doing all the things. But some of us, like me, I grieve the fact that my children, number one, I've lost children to death, but number two, my children weren't in the home. And then as I was losing children to death, my other children were separated. They were all pulling apart from each other. So what I had now as children was no longer, like they weren't there, like, so it was hard for me to really understand what was going on, right? I didn't get it. I'm the only child um from my mother, so I wasn't raised with siblings, so I didn't understand. Okay, my thing is now, if I had it to do all over again, I would be more active with my spouse, be more active with parent night out, date night. I think a lot of parents stop dating each other. Once they have kids, the mom pretty much goes to being mom and doing all things. So I would date more. I would spend more time, more than just Friday night. It would be like after the kids go to bed. Maybe it would be like, I guess parents maybe do this now. I don't know. But for me, we're talking about life over 50 and becoming an empty nester. And if you're watching this video, even if you're on the replay, like, put in the comments, tell me what are some things, if you're over 50, that you have had trouble with or that you wish you would have done differently. Like, share some of those things, because I think the generations that are coming up, they will need to know, like, maybe how to do things, or maybe they got it all together. I don't know. All I know is what keeps the kids these days is one of these. That's it. Every time I go in restaurants, that's all the kids are on. The kids are on the phone. And hey, that's how they're being raised. So I don't have a problem with that. But when my grandkids come to the ranch, it's an unplugged time. I want you to get out there, experience the grass. I got 10 and a half acres. Walk all of it. Play on it, right? That's just me. And if the kids don't want to do it, then it's okay. But that means their time at my house will be a little limited, because if you come here, I don't want you on your phone 24/7. That means, why are you here? Doesn't make sense. I'm not that grandma. And I've learned that I'm not big mama either. You can't just drop your kids off and say you're going on a daggum trip for yourself. That's what I'm doing. So number 4 was rekindle relationships. With the kids out of the house, find yourself reconnecting with your spouse, your partner in new ways. Think of new ways. Think of new ways. Sometime this year, going later in the year, I'm going to try to set up a retreat, and it's going to be called Sex in the Snow. And no, we're not having sex in the snow. But what it's going to be, Life Over 50, is how to rekindle relationships for empty nesters who are now on the other side. Like, they can't really go back to life before kids. They can go back and try to do some of the things. But what are some new things that maybe that they can do to rediscover what drew them to each other in the first place? So that's what that's going to be. Number 5, consider a new career path. COVID had people coming out. COVID, we learned about TikTok in COVID. Instagrams blew up. Facebook swirled over the place. YouTube, everybody learned all the things. We learned that people quit jobs to do something new. So consider a new path. You don't have to worry about kids at home. You don't have to worry about setting your schedule because you got football practice, baseball practice, PTA, all those things. You don't have to worry about them as an empty nester. So reevaluate your professional life. Maybe the money you made here while you were being a mother and all the things, that whole thing you've done, now kind of cash in and go over here and reevaluate. Do something fun. For me, all I want to do is have fun going in 2025. I want to laugh more. I want to have joy so much more. Because why? I feel like I've already put out enough tears that I don't want to shed a tear in 2025 unless I am laughing myself into tears. That's it. So volunteer work, do some volunteer work. If you don't know something else that you want to do, maybe volunteer in something that maybe you want think about doing. Like, before you just jump into it, like, just volunteer and see if you like it, and then if you do, then consider a full-time commitment. Maybe it's something that you could do your own business. I don't know. So, but you can help build the community where you live. Anything that's going to help you find fulfillment. Got me? Okay. Number 6, adjust your financial goals. This is one thing I learned as an empty nester. Insurance. And unfortunately, I've had to be in it 2 times, literally make funeral arrangements for 2 children. Your children are grown, and make sure that your children have their insurance for themselves. Because once our children turned, I think, 18, then the insurance was turned over to them. Make sure that they have their stuff covered. Ask them for their desires, for whatever they want. But then for them, lead it over to them. It is now their responsibility. So reframe your financial outlook. What does that look like? Now you got to maybe plan for retirement. What money value, like your lifestyle that you're living now, that you work so much and work so hard for these children, now you're by yourself, you and your husband, and y'all have whatever. Here we have 10.5 acres. My husband still works. He works because he loves to work. I like to be here encouraging and chatting with people, giving them what I've been through in life, and hopefully it will help them to maybe not make some of the mistakes I made, help them maybe go into a journey that maybe I have not handled or something like that. But I want to help the younger generation to navigate through motherhood so when they get in life after 50, they can look back and be like, oh, you know what? I'm glad I did that. Or I'm glad I checked this out. I'm glad whatever it is, right? So life after 50 as an empty nester, we adjust our financial goals, right? Right now, for me, I've personally decided that financially, I want to make more money, not so much as to take care of me or to take care of children or whatever. I want to be able to help people. I want to be able to invest in people so that they can see the value in themselves, if that makes sense. And then you want to plan for the future. So in the same thing, I believe that because my heart is to help people, I believe that God is going to give me what it is that I need financially. So I don't stress over financially, money-wise. When we're talking financial, most people go straight to money. But financially, I look at the ranch being a safe haven for other people. Hey, Sarah, I thought you were doing your show. I didn't know you, or are you on here just and doing that too? Because we multitask. That's another thing that this younger generation can do. They can multitask very well. I have to do one thing at a time. That's it for me. All right. So, number seven was the main thing for me. I had to create new routines because I was used to doing what? Taking kids to school, getting up, fixing breakfast, planning for whatever that day was going to hold. And I remember quitting my job in 2004. Yeah, I was a director with Mary Kay, and I quit my job because I was doing great in Mary Kay, and it made it more flexible for me to be there for my children. So I figured wherever I would go, of course, my business went with me. It went, it worked, it was wonderful. But after children started changing, relationships failed. I had to get to a stricter routine for my children. And so after all were gone, I had to create a new routine. Like so in 2021 I had time on my hand. I didn't have to worry about getting a child to go to school or to worry about what he was doing. So I had to set daily routines for me. So I had to revamp, period. And then in 2019, my whole world got shattered. So I had to set new routines. That's a whole nother, excuse me, that's a whole nother thing there, setting routines when you're grieving. But let go of old expectations. This is one of the main things. Letting go of old expectations, okay? What I wanted in my 20s wasn't what I wanted in my 40s. And what I wanted in my 40s is not what I want in my 50s. So I had to let go of the 20-year-old Karen ideals and things. For one, my children were growing and society was growing and pretty much imprinting on them. So I had to let go of, like, I always call it the Cosby Show. Like, I saw the Cosby Show. It's like, oh, okay, I would love to have a family like Cosby Show. Just all the things, the kids, they get into it and then you come back and have this resolution. Child, please, a work. I had to let go of those ideals. So, life after 50, and as an empty nester, I'm setting boundaries. The kids don't get along, that's not my problem. They're grown. They'll come back together when they feel like it, when they won't. If they won't, I'm not stressing over it anymore. I had came down to the point to where I put it in my will. If they don't resolve their issues while I'm alive, it was a little note point in my will was just like, I want to be directly cremated, and I don't want to have nothing where nobody's going to be celebrating life after I'm gone because I'm not here to enjoy it. So now I let that go. I don't care. So, but my boundaries are I'm not going to mother my children individually. So, life after 50 as an empty nester, you kind of move and shift. Or if you don't, you kind of think about, do I need to? Like, ask yourself. This is what I did. And if this worked for somebody, great, wonderful. And if you're looking at it, you're like, nah, that don't sound that way, then your life isn't my life. That's all I'm saying. But for me, I want to have joy in my life, and I'm not trying to navigate grown people. That's my whole point. I'm not trying to navigate grown people. They can do whatever they want to do. All I want is joy over here. All I want is peace over here. And so life after 50 as an empty nester, we don't have time for the bull. Ain't got time. You want to argue? Go outside the gate, argue out there, come back in when you're done. Not go in the room. Don't do it on the ranch at all. It's called Easy Living Ranch for a reason. I want to live life easy. And God said in His Word, I can. And I am and will. Okay, I think so. Number seven was really set daily routines. A structured routine can help you feel grounded, and that's what it did for me. So now going into 2025, I'm going to try to make that routine a little bit more stricter. That's why I say I'm going to try to show up. I'm not going to try to show up. I'm going to show up on YouTube channel here. So subscribe to the channel, hit that bell notification so you're notified on Monday and Wednesday. We're going to set up a time so that it works for me. These boundaries, I'm getting my boundaries. Monday, Wednesday. Not sure. It seems like I'm doing something between. I'm usually in the studio and I'm usually on YouTube doing videos between 9 and 12. So maybe between 9 and 12. Not sure. Okay. But letting go of the old expectations and the routines, they kind of go together for me. Like I was saying, as I was cleaning the studio and doing things, I realized that going into 2024, I was sick. Coming into 2025, I went to sleep. I was sleeping. I was restful. It was great. Didn't have any problems. Number eight, it was kind of like I was kind of questioning this one. in the sense because I thought it went with number 7, creating a new routine. But maybe it kind of can go together because we're building a new family dynamic, right? I'm maintaining the close relationship that I have with my children. However, I'm letting them know that I'm not mothering them individually. I'm trying to let them know that I want to be collective with them, which means they will have to work on their issues. So that's real easy. If you don't have that issue, then don't worry about it, right? Number 9. Oh, and this is a deja vu moment I just got. Number 9, embrace the opportunity for personal growth. That goes back to what I was talking about, kind of like creating a new routine or to do the focus on self-care. But the number 1 reason that I gave, I think was, let me see, look at my notes. Rediscover your passion and interest. So number 9, kind of embrace the opportunity for personal growth, right? So you reflect on your life's journey. Like I've written 2 books, 2 solo books, right? Being an empty nester gives you time to reflect on your achievements. Pat yourself on the back. Give yourself a atta girl or atta boy. Tell yourself what you did good. Don't concentrate on what you did bad or what you feel like you did bad. Don't do it. Give yourself room to pat yourself on the back and say, girl, you did that thing. I look back, I raised 7 children. 7, right? I give myself credit every single day. I got a sticky note that say, girl, you did that. And then have another sticky note and a picture that says, you got this. So whatever my children feel like maybe I fell short on, I have to give myself credit and remember, you raised 7 children. You birthed 7 children, right? I didn't lose children until they were late in their late 20s, almost 30s. I had a good run, is what I would call it. So take the time to give yourself credit for the things you did do. Don't focus on them things that you felt like you. Don't be in the coulda, woulda, shouldas of life. Don't do that, right? Learn something new so that you can say, okay, I'm going to create something new, right? And the world is full of opportunities for personal growth. Look at YouTube right now. I'm here trying to help someone get up, life after 50 of the empty nester, make today so great that yesterday is jealous of today. And you keep moving forward with that. And number 10, this is my favorite. This is my favorite. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? This is it. Take time to enjoy the quiet. Because when you had a 2-year-old, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 10-year-old, and God, when they became teenagers. So take time for the quiet. My house right now is so quiet. Like, I remember Sarah asked me, it's like, it'd be a good time to do a YouTube because, she has a 2-year-old. It'd be a perfect time because that's where you are in your life. Mine, I can tell people, life over 50 as an empty nester, it's quiet. And especially with me living out here in this rural country, which is why my internet sucks sometimes, there's quiet. Cars pass by every maybe 15, 20, maybe sometimes 30 minutes. Maybe today is Saturday. I haven't heard one since I've been on here. So enjoy the quiet. Enjoy the quiet. Appreciate the solitude. I mean, seriously, take the time to adjust to the quieter home. But there's beauty and peace and the space it offers. Enjoy the simplicity of a slower pace, more time for reflection, and less responsibility for others. That's where we go back to self-care, taking care of you first, not worrying about what's going on outside of your household. Take care of you first, right? And then life after 50, the empty nester can feel like a fresh chapter. It won't be like, oh my God, I'm over 50. And what am I going to do now? You can start right now. Because, hey, in the Bible, Sarah had a baby. Like, she was old. She was over 50. She was I want to say she was 90, in her 90s when she had a baby. Not telling nobody to go have a baby at 90. I'm not saying. But if the Lord says so, then so shall it be. Embrace the change and make the most of this opportunity for reinvention and growth. That's just it. Because living life after 50 as an empty nester, it is definitely that. It's a new chapter. Me personally, I've totally embraced, for number 1, life after 50. Life over 50 and life as an empty nester. After 7 children, I still have 5 living children. I have 14 grandchildren. I want to go forward thinking about what does that look like for me? Not what it looks like for everyone else, but what does that look like for me? And what does that look like for you? Life after 50 as an empty nester. If that is you, and either you're watching now or you're watching the replay, just share with us, what is it for you? And if you want to journey more with me, like really, you want to join a journey more with me, join me here on YouTube on the channel, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification so you'll be notified. We'll probably be having chats. I'm not sure Monday and Wednesday if we'll be what we'll be doing, but Mondays and Wednesdays, those are the days that I'm saying that I am going to put on my routine. It's in my, I don't have my journal in here. I do have my what is it? I can't think of what it's called now. Um my writing plan, my scripture plan. I couldn't find it the other day, but this is it. All the scriptures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's today? The 4th. So today I'm on Psalm 119. I love Psalm 119. The whole Psalm 119. So that's that. Okay. Life after 50 as an empty nester is a wonderful thing. You get to focus on you. That's just it. That's just it. So here in the studio, I get to focus on me. I shared the studio with my granddaughter. She loved it. It was great having her here. I miss her already. But here is where the magic goes down. This is my space. You know, they have men caves. This is my space. This is my cave. This is my studio. And I want you to create something for yourself. If you're over 50 and you're an empty nester, or if you're in your 40s and you're an empty nester, because sometimes people become empty nesters if they only got one child or what have you. Remember, let me go over there were 10 of them. So real quick, rediscover your passion and interest, focus on self-care, travel and explore. Number 3. Number 4, rekindle relationships, meaning either with your spouse, your partner, or friendships, maybe with that friend who didn't have kids and y'all kind of parted ways, that college roommate or somebody. Just rekindle friendships, right? Make the friendship the most. Like rekindle relationships you may have lost touch over the years, right? Number 5, consider new paths, new career paths. Because why? You maybe don't need the money that you needed. Like you probably have built up so much reserve over here that you can kind of change and do something for fun in work. Like get up and do something that makes you happy, right? Number 6, adjust your financial goals. That kind of goes along with consider new career paths, right? Number 7, create new routines. Again, these all kind of go along. They go together. For me, when I was going back and reading through my journal, and then I kind of put these things kind of together, it's just like, okay, I want to set new routines. So that's why they're kind of building on top of each other. And number 8, build a new family dynamic, right? If you need to. Number 9, embrace the opportunity for personal growth. Personal growth, like right now, I'm bringing my life here onto YouTube and sharing my journey with people, more so as a mother who has lost 2 children, as an empty nester, as a woman who is over 50, and proud of it, and is, and also enjoying growing. Like I'm enjoying the wisdom that I have now for the things that in my 20s, it's just like I didn't have the patience for. Number 1, I had patience only for the children. And number 10, take time to enjoy the quiet. That's the main one. Take time to enjoy the quiet. When I get off of here with you guys in a minute, I'm going to enjoy the quiet. What am I going to do? I have paint. I got me some new paints. I'm going to slap some flowers on some paper. And I'm going to have fun. And I'm going to enjoy the quiet. Because even at this time, my husband's not even at home. He's at work. So we're going to enjoy the quiet. I'm going to go over to my Patreon. And I'm going to do a live in my Patreon. So I saw a couple of my patrons on here. So join me over on Patreon. And that's where we'll be. Now, if you want to join on Patreon and learn how to create beautiful things, or learn more about life after 50, how do you do it? How do you discover something new? Join me on my Patreon. The link's in the description box below. That's where we'll be going. That's where we'll be moving through the first quarter in Patreon. Is just basically rediscovering who you are and asking yourself, what do I want in 2025? All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here. And I want you to, again, take care of you. Take care of you first and foremost. Y'all know how I like to end this because we can't serve from an empty place. I don't care how much you want water to be in here, some juice or whatever. If it's empty, you're not going to get it. So have fun. This is 2025. Happy New Year. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification so that you'll be notified when I am live and you get to join. And again, leave us comments. Let us know how you, for number one, like the content that I shared, if it does give you value. And if it does not, share something that maybe I can share over 50 or below. Like I've been in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s. I've been there all the way up to my 50s. I got a couple of years. No, we got got about 4 or 5 years before I'll be in life after 50. I'm embracing getting older because somebody didn't wake up this morning. Somebody didn't get to their 50s. So that's all I'm saying. Enjoy your life today. Take care of you because you can't pour from an empty place. Y'all have a great day. Love you guys. Happy New Year.